Hey everybody, said I'd get back to you once I beat Devil May Cry, and I just did. I was only a few levels away from ending it in the first place, but with real life and work and so forth, it takes a little bit longer to get to it. But my take on what's going on with the end of this game, I'd have to say that with my previous video, I made comment to the fact that there were definitely some rough edges when it came to a lot of the graphical things and everything like that with using the Unreal Tournament or the Unreal Engine. And it feels like they're even more prevalent towards the end of the game rather than smoothed out. You'd figure with coming to the climax of the game and the ending and so forth, with the larger bosses you're going to be fighting and so forth, that it would be more fine-tuned, be more cleaned up. This is the stuff that you've been playing the whole game to get to, and you'd expect it to look as pretty as possible. Well, I have to say that, spoiler alert if you haven't played the game, so I'm hoping you're not watching this second video if you haven't completed it yourself, that the fight against Mundus, which anybody I'm pretty sure could see coming, obviously, he's the main protagonist, really not super complicated, not really too in-depth. Most of the boss fights in the game are the multi-stage style. Do one thing like breaking an arm or busting armor type of idea, and then that weakens the enemy so that you can capitalize on hurting them further. And this is something that's used in many of the games of this particular style, the platformers or adventure types, is do one thing and then that makes it to where they're vulnerable to do the other. Really nothing super unique about that. The world in that final fight really almost feels like the Succubus fight earlier in the game, but just a larger arena that it's happening on. You would expect that with the way that they build up Mundus, that he would be far more deadly and a longer battle, really. I figured that it would have been a couple more stages of actually going to toe with him. Him in his human form, and then him in this cool demonic form, and then that being the finish to fighting him. And instead, it's kind of a letdown the way that you go about taking him out. And this is the more spoiler. I know that a friend of mine had hinted to it because he had beaten the game. So at this point, if you are still watching my video, I really hope that you stop at this point, because I'm going to spoil the final level of the game. So if you haven't and you continue to keep watching it, that's your fault. Virgil, which with playing the game, I kind of got the feeling that he might end up being some sort of villain, and from what I understand from the other games, him and Dante don't see eye to eye and end up being kind of like Spider-Man and Venom to one another. He ends up being the actual final fight with the two of them going toe-to-toe because of, things that end up being revealed in this final cinematic and then this final boss fight. He feels a little bit more interesting of a fight than Mundus does, but again, I still feel that there's kind of a letdown. He's really not that epic. The cutscenes that come at particular points when his health is dropped in this fight are really kind of lackluster, because again, most of the cinematics that are in this game are done with the in-game graphics rather than them taking the extra time to kind of really polish and make something above and beyond. Overall, I still think that the game is worth buying. I think it's definitely worth playing. If you're not a fan of the Devil May Cry series, I think you're going to enjoy it more, such as I did, versus the people that may be extreme fanboys of it. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. Also, at this point, the not map pack, which is stupid to say, costume pack that they put out for Dante. I happened to pick it up, and I like most of the skins. I'm really not a big fan of their throwback to what he originally looks like. I don't think that it really captures the way that the original Dante looks, besides the fact that obviously they're like, hey, let's give him no shirt and give him the red jacket and then kind of some longer hair. But it really doesn't fit the personality of the new one, so I really couldn't see myself using it. The other one is his normal costume, basically, but just all blacked out with the blonde hair or gray hair. It's kind of hard to tell the difference in the game. And it's okay. If you like his normal costume, then if you want to wear all black and kind of feel more emo about it, there you go. Or gothic. I tended to go more with the whole Neo, with the black tattered outfit that he wears with the Neo, actually, which is what it's called, Neo Dante, with the red bands and everything like that. I pretty much used that one from beginning of a game to the end of a game. And I dotted back and forth a couple of times just to kind of check it out. But If you're really looking into the costume pack, pick it up. It doesn't really add anything fundamentally to make the game better, but it might change your mind about the way that he looks. So, other than that, I still say that it's worth picking up. I enjoyed my time with it. I would have liked to see a little bit more polish over the game overall, and definitely towards the end. I hope that what I've got to say helped you out and maybe encourages you to go pick up the game some more, or if you were really not looking forward to it, then maybe, hopefully what I have to say maybe keeps you away from it. I'll see you guys soon, hopefully with the next game that I end up picking up. With the stuff coming up, I'll probably be getting into either Metal Gear Rising or what else is coming out this month? Metal Gear Rising, and then upcoming next will be probably Tomb Raider and Bioshock. So keep your eyes open. See me on YouTube here, hopefully a little bit more frequently. All right?